Thanks for your company once again. Teachers across the country have besieged the regional offices of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust SNIT as they raced against time to get onto the SNIT biometric register. The accountant regional has withheld salaries. The accountant general, I beg your pardon, has withheld salaries of all public sector workers who have not been biometrically captured. Government says salaries of such individuals would only be released after the registration. My colleague Erastus Asare-Donko has been following the issue in the Ashanti Regional Capital, where many teachers and other public sector workers have formed long queues to get registered. We'll speak to him shortly, but first, here's what happened yesterday.
And today we are having quite a number of teachers queuing since morning to be registered. Some of them are here. Let me try to speak with one or two of them and find out how they are doing. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good. So how long have you been here?
Since morning, around 8 a.m.
How's the process going for you?
It is very slow as compared to the number of people over here, because there are different people from different districts, but it was supposed to be only Ashanti Region, and the other regions are here. So because of other regions, the number has raised very high, so we are waiting for them.
Well, when you heard early on that indeed they are going to withhold your salaries because you are not on the biometric register, how did that make you feel?
I was feeling so bad, boss. I was feeling so bad because going to college 3 years without allowance and after posting for 7 months or 6 months without salary is very tedious. Our parents are crying and we are crying too.
What challenges are you facing here in trying to register?
The challenges that we are facing here, for me, I'm from Dafiama, Isa, which is in the Upper West region. And we are in Ashanti Region now. And they are saying that they are doing it for those in Ashanti Region. So it means that those from the 3 northern regions, we have to gather ourselves and then mobilize ourselves for them to just do it for us. And now we are not getting any help from them because they are in the Ashanti Region. Last week they were at Sunyang and they went to Watu for it. And at that time our staff IDs were not in, so we couldn't do it then. So now we have to come here to just do it at Kumasi.
The nature of registration and the short period for the exercise has created a rush where some officials were spotted cashing in on the teachers. Alfred Tewia Cheiba is Deputy Coordinator in charge of the Integrated Payroll and Personnel Database in Ashanti Region.
We went to North due to financial inconvenience. Some people could not go to North. When they came here, they have given privilege even to those people. So the same way, I know very well that when they get up to a point and there are a lot of people to do, definitely they will adjust themselves or may adjust themselves to
Now we witness that people are taking advantage of the situation and are cashing in on it. Some are paying monies and all that. Has that come to your attention?
You yourself, you have seen what is going on here. You wouldn't even see anybody talking about money or even transaction. Once you enter, your coordinator come with you, then they have also given me a list of districts who is doing it. So I check the name and see whether you are under that district before you even enter here. So those outside are people making rent, thinking they can have their way out. But when you get to up here, where the exercise is going, you see that this place is very calm. You can witness it.
So nobody's paying money to anybody?
No, so far I have not seen anything of that sort.
I would touch base with my colleague Erastus Asare-Donko shortly for the latest on that matter. But the huge pothole which developed on the Apenkwa overhead bridge on the N1 highway is currently being fixed. The Dawn News story brought the situation to the attention of the general public and the Minister of Roads and Highways. An engineer with the Bridge Maintenance Unit, Isaac Brown, says the bridge, which has been cordoned off, will be ready for use in 2 weeks. Maxwell Agbagba reports.
Everything looks normal on the Achimota overhead bridge until you get closer. There is a hole, a big hole through which you can see moving vehicles. The concrete slabs on this portion of the road are so badly damaged. The mesh of steel rods is what is keeping this loose piece from falling through. Drivers who are unaware ran over this pothole, breaking it up further, letting loose the pieces of stone directly onto whatever or whoever may be on the street below. This is the N1 highway right here on the Achimota overhead bridge. The slabs here are badly exposed. In fact, if you stand here, you can see what is happening down below. These bricks have actually cracked and they are falling down the overhead bridge. Below the bridge, one could see the concrete pieces gathered together. These bricks are dropping like manna from heaven, and they are coming from the top of the overhead bridge. It poses a danger to commuters and drivers who use the stretch. That was the state of the bridge when we visited some few weeks ago. Engineer on site Isaac Brown says his men are working assiduously to make sure this bridge is ready in the next 2 weeks. These men here are busily making sure that happens.
The extent were weak, and then we have to extend it onto the beams. So we widen it, and then we are going to cast a new concrete on it. Okay. Then on the entire stretch of the deck, we will be doing an overlay. Okay. To increase the strength of the slab and also the lifespan of the slab. Yes, that's what we are doing currently.
Okay. So why are you doing it for the entire stretch?
You know, after inspecting this one, we realized portions were also weak, and we shouldn't wait till that place to also, deteriorate or, breaks in. So the best way to solve this problem is to tackle it once and for all. Then we know that this slab is, safe and sound for vehicular usage for a very long time.
Okay. So how long do you expect to finish this project?
We program ourselves for 3 weeks, and we have already spent 1 week. So in 2 weeks' time, we should be done with this work. They are normal, but we have a limit of the vibration. You understand? When the bridge does not vibrate and it's very stiff, it is prone to collapse. Yeah. So we have an allowable limit of vibration on every bridge. Yeah. So when you see a bridge vibrating, that does not mean that there's a problem. Serious problem with it. But of course, when the vibration is very high, yeah, there might be a problem with the bridge. But every bridge is designed to vibrate.
I want to describe the ongoing repairs on the Penkwa overhead bridge as necessary evil. As it stands right now, commuters would have to spend extra minutes in their trotros and private vehicles before they use this diversion. But there's a policeman here making things run smoothly. Reporting for Joy News, Maxwell.
The Food and Drugs Authority has ordered the recall of the popular alcoholic beverage Adonko Bitters from the market for contravening its regulation on sale and advertisement of alcoholic beverages. The producer's Angel Group of Companies has also been ordered to pay a fine of 25,000 Ghana cedis after dozens of youth and minors passed out at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi during an Easter Monday concert organized by the company. Now, in a statement, the FDA says that it has sanctioned the Angel Group of Companies, manufacturers of Adonko Bitters, after a concert organized by the company at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi Easter Monday, April 17, 2017, left most of the youth passing out as a result of excessive intake of the alcoholic product. FDA's investigation confirmed that the criterion for gaining access to the concert was solely on condition that each individual purchased a 750 milliliter bottle of the alcoholic beverage at a cost of 10 Ghana cedi, a situation which resulted in the alcoholic beverage being sold to minors as well. It also resulted in excessive consumption, clearly putting the consumers at risk of flouting the caution of drinking responsibly. The situation also contravened Section 3.2.19 of the FDA guidelines for the advertisement of food products, which states that no alcoholic beverage shall be advertised in relation to a public function where persons under the legal drinking age are likely to attend. The company also contravened Section 3.2.12 of the FDA guidelines for the advertisement of food products, which prohibits the use of well-known personalities in the marketing of alcoholic beverages by engaging Shatawale and Bisakede in the promotion program. These acts exposed patrons to the said program to unwarranted serious health risks bordering on public health. The FDA has consequently sanctioned the company as follows. 1. With immediate effect, the FDA has suspended the registration and advertisement license of Angel Group of Companies whilst investigations into the incident continue. The company has also been directed to recall the product Adonko Bitters from trade and to furnish the FDA with details of the recall plan and subsequently the progress of the recall plan. And lastly, the company is to pay an administrative charge of 25,000 Ghana cedis for failing to comply with the above regulatory requirement. The FDA will not hesitate to impose further sanctions should Angel Group of Companies fail to comply with these sanctions. You're watching Joy News today with me, Benis Abubedi. We'll take a short break. When I come back, I'll be touching base with presidential correspondent Elton Brobe on the visit of President of the Gambia, Adama Barrow, to Ghana. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying here on Joy News today. Now, some police officers in Kumasi are accusing current government officials of intimidation. They cite as a case in point Public Relations Officer ASP Mohammed Tanko's recent transfer to the Northern Region. The officers alleged the supposed administrative action followed a threat to that effect by Education Minister Matthew Opoku Prempeh. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin reports.
Assistant Commissioner of Police Emmanuel Amisa of the Tafo Ponkrono Divisional Command echoed the sentiments of his colleagues. The stage was a meeting with Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah on separate interaction with security personnel of state security agencies.
With their political power came to bamboozle last year that we will ensure that the commander of SWAT and our PRO will be transferred from the region. Lo and behold, the two officers were transferred from the region. From our point of view, they were executing their police duty. Now, today we are being called upon to exercise the same mandate. Where is the assurance, sir, that you are not going to boot us out of this region? So that we can confidently cooperate with us, cooperate with you, and do the job as you expect.
Mr. Osei-Mensah apologized to the officers and asked them to work diligently for accelerated development.
We wouldn't have been human beings. We might have been something else. All that we try is that we try to minimize our mistakes and our faults. So please, if you are hurt, forgive me on behalf of whoever said it, and let's work together. Let's forget about these things. Human beings, once in a while you feel these things. Be bold and work. Even with the politicians, sometimes it's really more serious and dangerous. For example, I can even say what I'm saying. I beg you, somebody will say, why did you go there to beg me? That is my point. So we also suffer one way or the other some of these things. They can't be there with us and forgive us and do your work within the framework of the law, and nothing will happen to you. Meanwhile,
The regional command reports Murder cases in the region have reduced by 40%, though robbery remains high from last year. DCOP Ken Yeboah is regional commander.
Crime rate for the first quarter of the year as compared to the same period in 2016 is encouraging. A total of 1,600 cases were reported during the same period last year, but 1,525 cases have been recorded this year. There has not been any significant change in robbery cases, as the figures are almost the same. However, the robbery has shifted from highway to car snatching within the city and then metropolis. We are doing our best to ensure that we reduce it to the barest minimum.
In another development, the regional minister has warned traders who have evaded the footbridge at Edum for trading activities of forceful eviction. Mr. Osei Mensah says a 1-month ultimatum he gave them to voluntarily vacate the structure has already expired.
Selling in the middle of the road, we cannot allow them to continue. We are talking to some of them. They are pleading. I gave those who are selling on the footbridge 1 month. They've come to plead. I've asked them to move before I move them. And they think I'm joking. You can't sell on the footbridge. That's not the purpose. That's not the purpose. Some people think I've delayed too much after the expiration of the 1-month period I gave them. No, they came to plead. And I've given them some time. If they don't move by themselves, I'll issue a press release. After the press release, they come the next day, the whole place is barricaded and they can't go there. And we allow only people who want to use it as a footpath. We have to be firm on some of the decisions. If that footbridge should collapse today, then somebody should get seriously injured or even die, they will blame us. But when you want to decongest the place to whatever we are, and you talk about and so one to Obama said, you voted for me to protect you.
Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin reporting.
Still in the Ashanti region, some children at the EDWENASE in Kumasi are spearheading a campaign to discourage persons with disability from begging on the streets. Their efforts are, however, being thwarted by inadequate teaching and learning materials, as well as high cost of electricity bills at the center. Authorities say they live on the benevolence of individuals and groups due to persistent delay in the release of meager government subvention. Erastus Asaridonko reports.
And she sings with such clear voice, and she could pass for any star in the future. But then she finds herself in this home. This is the EDWENASE Rehabilitation Center. It's the home for children with special needs. Many of the children you find here are children with lots of history of abandonment. Some of them have been left to their fate because of their special problems.
Hi, how are you? By the grace of God, I'm fine. Please, how are you too?
I'm okay. What's your name?
Please, my name is Ebenezer Tete.
Ebenezer, you're speaking live on Joy News TV. So there's a camera standing here and I'm using a microphone. Can you tell us why you are here?
I'm here because I know my future, especially my future. and I want to do something for myself, or I can take care of myself. According to Bible, said the hand cannot work, that hand cannot eat. So I also think that it is my own responsibility to do something or to work.
Before you came here, did you have any challenges in the home, like taking care of yourself, how family people relate to you?
You see, the way we are in Ghana, let me use that word. Sometimes you can divide it into two equal ways. Sometimes some of them can hit you or can hit me, but I would say majority love me, or they come closer to me.
Your family that brought you here?
Yes.
Do they visit?
Yes, they visit. Anytime I will call them, they will come.
So what do you do here, or what do you want to be?
Okay, now I'm learning instruments. So now I'm learning bass guitar.
You want to be a musician?
Yes.
So you can sing?
But gradually, everything it is everybody to learn. So, but about the music, I'm not perfect. But it is not that maybe you pray, you sing before you can play the instrument.
So these children live on the benevolence of individuals like my mom here, who come occasionally to donate to them. They have a lot of challenges, and one of them is the rough nature of the environment. Many of them use wheelchairs, and so it's difficult to navigate around on this rough pasture. Again, this whole facility.
Now let's revisit that story about some teachers besieging the offices of the SNIT for their biometric registration. My colleague Erastus Sarah Donko, who covered that story for us in the Ashanti region, joins us on the line with the latest. Hello, Erastus.
Yeah, Benny.
Hi, good afternoon. So what's the situation like today? Do we still have long queues at the SNIT office?
I must say today is even worse. We have more teachers joining in. And remember, we have 924 teachers from the various districts across Ashanti region forming queues at the Regional Directorate of Education to have them their data captured on the payroll. And so quite a number of teachers have again queued up since morning today trying to register. As we speak, the authorities have created another division at the NAS Hall, which is closer to the venue, so that they could have two groups registering at the same time. That is what seems to be helping the situation at the moment. But the queues are so long.
And so the process is quite slow as it was yesterday.
Exactly, because we have some few laptops working at the moment, and the whole thing is biometric. So the moment they capture your data, it should go into the system. And so it's creating such a slow pace of work at the moment. But there are some of the teachers who have given birth or are nursing mothers, and they are given some preferential treatment. They are being registered first before they get to the able men and women. Yeah.
All right, and apart from the interventions you mentioned, are there any others? For example, are they hoping to extend the working hours to be able to capture all these people?
Well, what I'm being told is that they were supposed to end the exercise today, but then they are looking at the numbers they could register. If they are able to register all 924 now, they are almost up to a half. And so if they are able to register them, then they will not be extending. But they are saying that if they are not able to reach all of them, then it's possible that it will be extended to tomorrow and the next day.
All right, Erastus, away from this issue, we are hearing the mayor of Kumasi has given a directive for the demolition of buildings in waterways. What more can you tell us about that?
Exactly. In fact, there is some impunity going on in the metropolis where we have, if you go to the Castle Road, we have people who are developing wetlands in that area, filling up the place and putting up buildings. Then on the Durban Road as well, you have such situations there. And about 4 to 5 years ago, we have similar developments scattered across flood-prone areas in Mosidongo, Airport Roundabout, and other areas. And so it is creating a flood situation when it rains, killing people. And just about last year and this year, we've had 2 people dying in floods in Mosidongo and Airport Roundabout. So the mayor of Kumasi, Mr. Osetibe, is going around looking at these areas and trying to see how he can help. Now, he's recommending, after seeing the situation at the airport roundabout, that some buildings whose occupants have evacuated already due to the floods will have to be demolished so that it will give the waters some leeway to flow, and we will only have a flood situation on our hands. So he has requested that for a committee be set up. They are given 4 days to submit an assessment of which they will start demolition of such structures.
All right, thank you very much for the updates to Rasta Sasaridonko, my colleague in Kumasi. Now, President of the Gambia, Adama Barrow, is paying a working visit to Ghana today. While here, he's expected to meet President Akufo-Addo on bilateral and trade issues. Let's get more on this from our presidential correspondent, Elton Brobe. Hi, Elton.
Yes, Danny.
So when is he expected to arrive, and what exactly would he be doing in the country?
Well, the official time we'll be given is 1 p.m. today. I am coming to you live from the Jubilee Lounge here at the Kotoka International Airport. The Vice President is waiting. What we are waiting for is for the aeroplane carrying Adama Barrow to touch down for the various formalities to begin. Now, as I speak to you right now, personnel of the Ghana Armed Forces, they have formed a guard of honor for the visiting president. And when he touches down, he's going to inspect his guard. And then after that, he will proceed to the VVIP area where he's going to hold some kind of a welcome discussion with the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. And that will end the first session here at the Kotoka International Airport. Right after that.
Alton, could you please reposition yourself? There's a lot of wind, and so we can't hear you.
All right. I was talking about the fact that everything appears that the Vice President is in waiting, and very soon he will be out to welcome the Gambian President, who is going to be here for the next 4 hours. Okay. When he's here, he will inspect a guard of honor mounted by personnel of the Ghana Armed Forces. Right after that, he will be ushered into the VVIP area at the Kotoka International Airport, where they will hold a welcome discussion. From there on, he will be moved to the Flagstaff House, where we are told that he and President Akufo-Addo will hold a closed-door session. They will have lunch together. Right after that, the 2 leaders will hold a joint news conference to tell us what they will discuss. Now, what I've picked is that he's essentially here to thank the President of Ghana for the role he played during the disputed election in his country when Yahya Jammeh refused to step down after he lost that particular election. Ghana contributed 200 troops to kind of bring peace to the area before Yahya Jammeh decided to walk away from the country. So he's here to thank the president and also further hold bilateral discussions with President Akufo-Addo, which will center on trade and also how they can deepen the relationship between the two countries.
Thank you very much, Elton Brobe, for the update. President of the Gambia, Adama Barrow, will be touching down here in Ghana at 1, and he's expected to meet President Akufo-Addo for some bilateral talks. You're watching Joy News Today with me, Bernice Abubedo. Up next is Business with Emmanuel Abuajeriafi.
Hello again, good afternoon and welcome to Business. Now, the economy is not completely immune against HIPIC, or the highly indebted poor country status. That's the verdict of the head of economics department at the University of Ghana, Professor Peter Quartey, in the wake of the country's high debt levels. The national debt of Ghana, which forms about 122 billion Ghana cedis, constitutes more than 70% of GDP, making the country a highly distressed one. Speaking at his inaugural lecture at the University of Ghana, Legon, Professor Quartey explained Ghana is not out of the woods yet.
Debt service to revenue ratio is also above HIPC thresholds and about half of 2001 level. Debt indicators are all above debt sustainable thresholds and over 50% of pre-HIPC levels. In the case of debt service to total expenditure, it is even above the pre-HIPC level. The bane of Ghana's economy is not the lack of resources, but the lack of judicious use of resources or getting value for money. Ghana has poor debt performance compared to its counterparts, I think we saw from the table. Kenya, Uganda, Nigeria. Therefore, we are in a comfortable lead. And we are cruising to HIPC levels. I call for a clear commitment by government to reduce the debt ratio from its present level to 60% or below in the next 4 years. In fact, I call on civil society, any attempt to increase the debt threshold is inhuman. We must stand against this. It is inhuman. I also call for government to prepare project evaluation and completion reports for all capital expenditure projects, including donor-funded projects, verified by a competent audit firm and made publicly available.
So we'll bring you other aspects of that lecture shortly on the marketplace. Away from this, the CEO of X-Doors Communications, organizers of the maiden edition of the Ghana Manufacturing Awards, which comes off later this evening at the Gold Coast Kempinski Hotel here in Accra, has been sharing some thoughts with Joy Business. Mr. Richard Abe Jr. says the event is aimed at encouraging manufacturing companies to help revamp the industry in Ghana. Latest reports released by the Ghana Statistical Service showed the manufacturing sector still declining in contribution to GDP. Mr. Abe underscores the need for innovation to help turn around the sector.
We as organizers, and by organizers I mean X-Doors Communications, believe in innovation. And we do believe that you innovate or you die. And so with regarding the manufacturing industry, our core area is what we talk about, which is innovation, and CSR, HSEQ, and stewardship as well. But particularly, we're more focused on innovation. That's what we say, we're celebrating innovation in the manufacturing industry. Because to meet the international standards and also to grow the manufacturing industry, we need to sort of innovate in order to meet the international standards and also compete international brands. Now, reason for this award, like we say, apart from the pop and pageantry, I mean, the fact that we want to also have a networking of manufacturing companies together. We're looking at the future where we will have a sort of an exhibition as well to exhibit some of these products of the manufacturing companies, and then for investors and international community to come and see what Ghanaians are doing. I mean, we do believe that the manufacturing industry it contributes a lot to the GDP of this country, and in that if we promote more industrialization and promote manufacturing and reward these people, they will be more equipped and be prepared in order to do more in the country.
And that's all in business for now. Join me again shortly on the marketplace for more stories from the world of business. My name is Emmanuel Abuajiria. Up next, sports.
Hello there, my name is Baba Tando and I bring you the latest in the world of sports. Let's get talking right here, right now. Veteran football administrator Techi Ahin is admonishing Youth and Sports Minister
Isaac Isiama to get down to work instead of talking. The minister, who doubles as Member of Parliament for the Echuma Mponua constituency in the Ashanti region, was sworn into office by President Akufo-Addo in February of this year and has been quite vocal in the media. According to Techi Ahin, the minister was critical of his immediate past predecessor, Nilante Vanderpoy, for talking too much on radio at the expense of discharging his duties, and is therefore asking Honorable Isaac Isiama to desist from preaching gospel and practicing vice.
As a sports minister, too much talking is not good. You need to walk the talk. This is the crux of the matter.
But one would be wondering, do you have any problem with the sports minister, the current sports minister?
At all. I don't have any kind of problem with him. I've not even met him before. All that I know is that he's a member of parliament in the Ashanti region and then the current sports minister. But you know something? I'm somebody I criticize constructively, but not personalities. The president said that he's in a rush. So all Ghanaians, we are all in a rush. We are all in a rush. He should walk the talk. Too much talking is not good. He should walk the talk.
Meanwhile, Techi Ahin, who is also Chief Executive Officer of Division 1 club Berlin SC, believes there is some power struggle between the Sports Minister Isaac Isiama and Majority Leader in Parliament, Osei Chairman Sabonsu.
I've realized that it seems there's that kind of power struggle between the sports minister and the majority leader. You can remember the GNPC sponsorship. I heard the majority leader saying that they've cancelled the contract. Then 2 days after, the sports minister said, no, the contract is still intact. So I don't know about the 5 stadia. The sports minister said the government was going to build 5 stadia. Then 2 days after, the majority leader said they can build just 2. So which is which? The sports minister and the majority leader, whom are we to believe?
There's more on the sports page of myjoyonline.com. We're giving you live updates via our Twitter handle. That's JoySportsGH. We're doing same on Facebook, and the address is Joy Sports. I'm also giving you live tweets, or you can personally tweet at me. My Twitter handle is @Babatando. That's your sports. Good afternoon.
Now, after self-reflection and being in existence for 59 years, the Ghana Medical Association, GMA, has launched a 5-year strategic plan document to serve as a guide and also to rebrand and refocus the association. My colleague Hannah Odame was there at that launch and joins us on the line with more. Hello, Hannah.
Hi, Dennis.
Can you share with us what this plan is about?
Yes, this plan is expected to rebrand and refocus the vision and mission of the GMA. One of the things they will do is to operate a health think tank, something that has not been in existence ever, so that they'll be able to better communicate their issues, not as and when the things happen, but they'll have a think tank that will do extensive research, so when things happen, the members of the research or the think tank will be able to come out and speak on it. They also expect to promote the standards and quality of members through its code of ethics. You know that there have been some issues of some fake doctors and some health professionals are in the system, and they want to ensure that there's self-regulation. They also want to enhance the corporate image of the association. One of the things is...
Well, really sorry about that. Unfortunately, we lost her on the line there. We'll try and get you some more information on this in subsequent bulletins. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of Joy News Today. Log on to myjoyonline.com for more news, or you can follow us on social media on Facebook and Twitter. We are Joy News on TV. My name is Benes Abubedu. Enjoy the rest of your day. Up next is The Marketplace with Emmanuel Abuajebiafi.